she suddenly noticed her husband's coat smelled of a strange perfume, but she'd never worn this scent before. Right after that, she found a long golden hair on the fabric. The texture and color were totally different from hers. Her gut told her there was definitely something wrong with her husband. That night, she used her period as an excuse to refuse to share the bed. She quietly put away that hair and started keeping tabs on him secretly. Chiang Mai, a doctor, took impeccable care of her husband's life. His shirts were always crisp and wrinkle-free. When she worked night shifts, she'd always prepare dinner in advance. After putting the food in the refrigerator, she'd head to the hospital for her shift with peace of mind. But cracks gradually started to show. Her husband hadn't even touched the bento she prepared. Before, he'd always add seasonings to his lunchbox. Now, the seasoning bottles hadn't moved an inch from their original position. So Chiang Mai bought cameras and voice recorders online, hiding them separately in a hidden spot in the living room and her husband's tie. But she didn't catch any suspicious activity. That day, she used her position as a doctor to prescribe 2 sleeping pills at the hospital, ground them into powder and mixed it into dinner. Determined to check her husband's phone that night, shortly after dinner, her husband passed out cold. Chiang Mai shook him to make sure he wasn't responsive, immediately used Face ID to unlock his phone. But after searching through all the chat logs and photo albums, she didn't find the slightest sign of anything amiss. She started second-guessing herself, wondering if she'd misunderstood her husband. Until the family dinner, everyone praised Chiang Mai as a gentle, thoughtful, and perfect wife. Being able to marry her was such a huge blessing, but when her husband smiled and waved it off, there was a faint, undetectable look of contempt in his eyes. Her husband's male colleague, Rui Shi, volunteered to help in the kitchen and raved about her pineapple salmon, calling it the ultimate delicious combination. It turned out Rui Shi also cooked often, and only he understood how much effort Chiang Mai put into her cooking. Even weirder was her husband's reaction to her best friend, Lily. His eyes were darting around. When Lily joked about wanting a partner like him, he panicked completely. Rui Shi even quietly warned Lily not to talk nonsense. Besides, Chiang Mai had brought up having kids multiple times, but he'd always brushed it off, saying he was too busy with work. Until the day her husband wore that tie to work, Chiang Mai heard the cruel truth through the recording, that their 5-year marriage had been a complete scam all along. 5 years ago, her husband Jack had been vying for a top position at the company. He'd figured out that his superiors valued family responsibility, so he'd deliberately pursued Chiang Mai, who fit the mold of the perfect wife. After marriage, he'd gotten a promotion smoothly thanks to his good husband image. Now that he no longer needed to maintain the marriage, but didn't want to split assets or ruin his reputation by getting divorced, he'd actually hired Rui Shi, who had a criminal record, to force her to divorce him, and he'd never loved her, treating her only as a stepping stone to climb the corporate ladder. Learning the truth, Chiang Mai's heart shattered into pieces. 5 years of wholehearted devotion had only gotten her used and betrayed. Her former gentleness disappeared completely. Only coldness and ferocity remained in her eyes. She was determined to turn dark and get revenge.